So Asuka, you can win the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match, but can you do this?
WTF!
The Royal Rumble of 2018 was just like the trifle that Rachel off of Friends made for her pals. The matches that weren't the Rumbles, they were good. The Men's Rumble, it was good. And the Women's Rumble, it was good. Thankfully though, for me and for you, it wasn't all good though, because there were some WTF moments to be had. I am Ross from Cultaholic.com. You're my sexual wank pheasants, and welcome to the WTF moments of the Royal Rumble of 2018. It's Jonathan! Now, I didn't see the pre-show, but he was there. So aye. Now, don't you think it's funny how the opening package to the entire show made a big old hoo-ha about how the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble match goes on to main event WrestleMania, when if you go back 12 months you will see the winner of last year's Men's Royal Rumble didn't. Now, the last time I checked, the main event is the match that goes on last, or the sign above Adam Pacitti bed with arrows pointing down. And Randy Orton didn't go there. However, the second place, the best loser, the biggest loser, bow wow yow yippee yo yippee blue eyes himself, Roman Reigns, did. Call off the search party, somebody tell his mother, because there is Wally. We've found him finally. Corey Graves claimed that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have had parallel careers. Now, that might have been the case up until they were both signed to NXT. Now, that might have been the case until the pair made it to WWE, but since they made it to WWE, their careers have gone in different directions. Kevin Owens, NXT champion, Universal champion, 2 Intercontinental championships, 3 United States championships. Sami Zayn, 1 NXT championship. He had to make his own bloody hoodies before Christmas until WWEshop.com got their asses into gear, and he's ginger. Ho, lad, steady on now, hard lad at school there, going to get off his tits on non-alcoholic beer if John Cena wins. You disgust me. And next up we have Byron Saxton, who used the phrase manned up while describing how AJ Styles has dealt with this predicament he got himself in at the Royal Rumble. First of all, Byron, strength and weakness have nothing to do with sex or gender, so weast your pie hole. And shaming men for being less manly than regressive bastards like you think they should be, it just doesn't work according to the internet, so weast your pie hole, you bully bastard. Now, as we all know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing time and time again, but expecting different results. With that in mind, why on earth is Kevin Owens doing the exact same move that injured his knee 5 days after it injured his knee? Let's just face it, the guy deserved to get even more injured than he already was, and that pains me to say because I'm in love with him. Tom Phillips faced fornicating the poo out of yet another line on commentary when he asks where Kevin Owens' left knee is. Now, we've all heard of having an arse chin, which is the only example of having 2 body parts in 2 different places on the same body at the same time. So let me tell you, Tom, Kevin Owens' left knee is where his left knee should be. Tom Phillips there obviously having a raging boner, obscuring his view, as always, the dirty bastard. Who would have thought of that? AJ Styles wears a thong under his tights, the more you know. Now, I've heard after being exposed like this last night that AJ Styles is going to revert to a pair of plain and simple Y fronts because he is sick of the same old thong and dance. Come on. Hang on a second now. If SmackDown Live taught me anything a few weeks ago in a tag team championship match, it's that there's always a spare referee watching the monitor backstage, and he'll come down to the ring when any tomfoolery takes place to set the record straight. The replay showed that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn did not tag. Sami Zayn was still a legal man. Kevin Owens took the fall. The wrong man took the fall, yet no referee appeared. What is the crack with that? This is yet another example of WWE just twisting the narrative just to suit the purpose. Or more blatant racism against Canadians on SmackDown Live. Now, just before a WWE SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match, WWE SmackDown Live Tag Team Champion Jey Usos asks American Alpha Ish how they're going to prepare for a team that has nothing to lose just before defending their WWE SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. Now, since you've turned into bad lads with discount cards at River Island, you haven't got your dignity to lose anymore. So what can you lose? Those SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. You had one in your hand, pal. What did you think was in your hand? And next up we have big ol' Shelty B shouting at Jimmy Uso, "You asked for this." No, he didn't, pal. Your little pal, little Chad Gable, he asked for this 2 out of 3 falls match. We all saw it with our own eyes. Just you remember though, Shelty B, that Jimmy Uso is a WWE SmackDown Live Tag Team Champion with nothing to lose in a WWE SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match. Get this right, Corey Graves claimed that one Uso was in the ring when the other one was. You damn racist. So I hear you're a racist now, Corey. He's not a racist. I didn't mean that. I just didn't know what to say. There's nothing really you can say because the Usos are hard to tell apart from one another when they're flying around the ring like wasps on toot. The men's rumble was on first. Jesus Christ. Now I know some of you will have lambasted me if I didn't deal with this issue, so here we are. But I believe that the men's Royal Rumble went on first because if you look at the result of the men's rumble, all of SmackDown's Baholics were dealt with in the opening half of the show. And next up we have the Ghoul, who is at every single WWE pay-per-view with a sign with a reference that goes straight over my head. There's a picture of Roman Reigns with what looks like the United States Championship and the Universal Championship, but underneath it says Finn Balor. Is he trying to say the fans want your boy Finn Balor but they give us Roman Reigns? I just don't know. Damn sexy Ghoul. Next up we have Byron Saxton claiming that Baron Corbin's scalp has been aching for ages because people have been saying for months that he just squanders opportunity after opportunity, and therefore we have to wonder what would happen if Baron Corbin would win the Royal Rumble. I'd tell you, he'd go to WrestleMania and he'd lose. Yes, as we all know, by winning the Royal Rumble you only get an opportunity at the WWE Championship, unless of course you're wrestling in 92 or 2016, so Baron would just get an opportunity at the championship. So what point are you trying to make, you toe curling creep? Corey claims that a big baldy bastard Baron Corbin deep six on Rhino is an over £300 deep six. What is he talking about? Rhino weighs in at £295, so where has he got that minimum of an extra £6 from? Down the back of his couch, I'd have been there. Now I think I'm right in saying that if Elias asked who wants to walk with Elias and he was the only man on earth and he said yes, I think Elias would say, "Nah, you're alright pal, you stay where you are." And next up we have the sign that reads Roman Reigns and his fans eat Tide Pods. I mean, Jesus Christ, settle down. Wrestling's not even real. The tide has certainly turned here. I'm sorry now, but if you're my bear, my spirit animal Ruru, or your boy Finn Balor, why on earth, when you're selling an injury on the outside of the ring, would you suddenly recover and then get back into the ring? We all know why you're out there. We as fans accept you're out there because you're injured and not taking a cat nap like Roman Reigns did a few years ago. Just take your time, have your little break, come back in when there's not too much, standing between you and the semi-main event of WrestleMania 34. Have father and son ever done battle in a Royal Rumble match? Well, they did last night because my Bane spirit animal Ruru and the son he doesn't know he has yet, Andrade Cien Almas, were beating the bejesus out of one another. It's like that Spider-Man looking at Spider-Man meme, only on that stuff that makes Jinder Mahal's nipples saggier than a cow's teats. And next up we have Michael Cole speaking about Ty Dillinger when he said he's from your neck of the woods on SmackDown Live, Byron, and I was sat there thinking, what about Corey Graves? He's on SmackDown just as much as Byron Saxton is. What part of the woods does that mean Corey's in? As long as it's not on Pornhub with Xavier, we're all okay. So Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens wipe their asses with the number 10 entrant Ty Dillinger. They do a bad thing. Sami Zayn decides he's going to take Ty Dillinger's place because Ty Dillinger is dying, so Sami Zayn walks through Gorilla on his way to the ring. You're not telling me that nobody in Gorilla, not Fit Finley, not IRS, not that bald fella that likes to shout at everybody he sees while on television, did nothing to stop him because they knew he did something bad. He's breaking more rules than Seth Rollins does. Faces, man, what they're doing. What an effort tonight from Heath Slater, Maggle Cole says, and I was sat there thinking, what on earth do you mean, Maggle? Heath Slater did not earn his paycheck last night. He did a roly-poly down the ramp to the ring, all while every single superstar who went in the ring while he was doing that spunked in his coffee. Then he was in the ring for about 20 seconds before he was hied over the top. He did not. Heath worked as hard as JBL does at hiding his fetish for massive muscular ladies. Never ever forget. And then we have Jerry the King Lawler, who said he was still in shock over Cesaro on his birthday, even though it was Sheamus whose birthday it is, and Sheamus who was just eliminated by Heath Slater a few seconds before. Sheamus looks like a cock, Cesaro looks like Jason Statham. I am not sure how Jerry the King Lawler got the two mixed up, although I think I might be, because Jason Statham is as hard as a cock, more specifically, the cock belonging to JBL, while he looks at pictures of naked muscular ladies, never forget. And back to Maggle Cole once again, who claims that Sheamus' early elimination from the 2018 Men's Royal Rumble match does not bode well for DeBar later in the night in their Tag Team Championship match with champions losers. Ooh, Champions Club. What are you smoking, Maggle? A fresh, pissed off Sheamus or a fatigued Sheamus? I don't know which Sheamus I would rather be heading to battle with if I was Cesaro. Who needs Booker T when you've got Maggle Cole on this kind of form? Nice drop kick, he says, even though that there is clearly an enziguri by Apollo Crews. I have just worked out why Booker T has a job. He's there to make the lads look less crap than they actually are by being crapper than they are. Makes sense to me. Christ almighty, he's back again. It is time to create a thing for Maggle Cole mistakes. Brace yourselves now. Maggle, 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 Maggle. Yes, that was to the tune of Ethan Carter III's TNA theme. Topical here, but Corey Graves lambasts Andrade Cien Almas for saving your boy Finn Balor's ass. Maggle's reckoning for what Andrade did is that Andrade might not have seen your boy Finn Balor, who was just on the brink of being eliminated by Cesaro. So therefore you just have to picture, in Maggle's mind, what Andrade will have seen. This is what he will have seen. This is what he would have seen, Maggle. What do you think Cesaro was doing? Digging for worms or something? Worms head for the surface when there's bare vibrations, didn't you know? Maggle, 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 Maggle. And this time Maggle claims that last night was Jinder Mahal's first WWE Royal Rumble match ever, even though 2013 was. Now I know most fans want to forget Jinder Mahal even exists, but not you, Maggle. You shouldn't want to think that. Give the man some respect, Pat. So Matt Hardy is now broken rather than woken. Either way, you must make sure to wake and bake with the strongest of herbal essences. What does that got to do with anything? I do not know. Seth Rollins, with your attire like an early noughties virgin. With your attire like Nibble and Gibbles. Gibbles, hot potato chips. With your attire like Bam Bam Bigelow's, may he rest in peace. But what are those? Maggle, 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 Maggle. And this time Maggle claims that Seth Rollins was injured this time last year, which cost him his place in last year's Rumble match. Now I seem to remember Sami Zayn winning Seth Rollins' place in the 2017 Royal Rumble, therefore taking it away from Seth and costing Seth his place in the 2017 Royal Rumble. I need a sleep. The injury that Maggle claimed kept Rollins out of the match didn't happen until January 30th. Knowledge is power. Maggle, 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 Maggle. Maggle saying advantage to Rollins and Jordan. Ooh, Champions Club! Because the momentum is with them after a lengthy-ish Rollins appearance in the Rumble is all kinds of wrong. Rollins is going to be knackered. Cesaro and Sheamus are sat backstage with a beer in the hand, thinking of better times, fresh and raring to go. The Hurricane, an actual surprise return for what my reckoning is the first time since the Boogeyman came back in the Rumble of 2K15. What's up with that? Rey Mysterio getting cheered at a Royal Rumble. This isn't right. You need to grab to each animal and head for the bastard border. The end is nigh, the end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh, nigh. Now I hope that John Cena does realise that when you're wrestling, and I can say this because I enjoyed a rather fruitful 10-year stint in New Japan Pro Wrestling, you're supposed to hide when you're talking to your compadres, yet he's there shouting Shinsuke now, like he's in the army. All that, it's just a gimmick, John. You're not actually in the army. My grind could hear you shouting, and she's deaf and dead. Vince McMahon likes things he never used to like. Vince McMahon likes things he never used to like. Vince McMahon is a raging hipster. And next up we have a rather sobering thought. The sobering thought that Ric Flair's last ever professional wrestling match will be the Colonel Rumble. What a legacy to leave behind. This time, Corey Graves claims that Jason Jordan is undeniably the freshest man in the Tag Team Championship match, pitting Jason and Rollins, Champions Club, against the Bar. Now, how can he say this when the only difference between Jason Jordan and Sheamus is the fact that Sheamus walked out in the ring and was thrown over the top rope immediately? Really? How can we know this? How do we know what Jason Jordan was doing in the hours leading up to the show? How do we not know that the men's locker room, for all of WWE's men, was on one side of the arena and Kurt Angle's office was on the other side of the arena, meaning that Jason Jordan had to walk roughly half a mile just to sniff his daddy's jockstrap. Made a grave mistake, Corey. Booker T said there's no timeouts in tag team wrestling. Fair enough. Corey Graves said there's no tag team in wrestling ever, Booker T. What? Booker T said he said timeouts. Fair enough once again. Corey Graves in riposte claimed that he said timeouts even though he didn't. And I feel like I've just listened to one of One Direction's greatest hits sang by Stephanie McMahon while Linda uses her nails to play the tune on the chalkboard. Do Pablo Zabaleta. Now I feel like I've made this point hundreds of times before, but Booker T claims that Seth Rollins is like he's on Gilligan's Island because he has no one to tag in. That's even though nobody was alone on Gilligan's Island, because he had the mate, the skipper, the millionaire's wife, the movie star, and the rest. There was loads of people there, and they were having a whale of a time. And then Booker still has to ask Corey Graves what his point is when Corey Graves points out the mistake that I've just pointed out right here. There's bare partners to choose from on Gilligan's Island. Booker, you knob. Tea time. Scroll back to point 6 because Booker T did exactly what Byron Saxton did earlier in the show. It's weird though because WWE behind the scenes are all like, ooh, concussions are bad, they should be treated as big deals, and rightfully so. But in front of the cameras, they're all like, haha, concussions, Jason Jordan's been a massive pussy, what's wrong with him? Somehow Jason Jordan was treated more of a heel than he was before the match because he might have had a concussion and didn't just forget about it, man up and get in the ring like a reckless bastard. Maggle, 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 maggle. Quote from Maggle Cole, if Kane wins, he'd become the first man to win the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. Maggle, Brock Lesnar is in the same match. Maggle, 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 maggle. This time Maggle Cole claims that Kane has been in a match with Brock Lesnar on only 2 occasions, the 2003 and the 2017 Royal Rumbles, as the French would say. What about the SmackDown show in San Jose, the 21st of September 2002? Brock Lesnar versus Kane. Brock Lesnar's Undisputed Championship on the line. Maggle, 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 maggle. Maggle claims that Brock Lesnar is the longest reigning active champion in WWE today. Active, pal? What on earth do you mean? Active means moving. The last time that Brock Lesnar was active in WWE was at Survivor Series, which was bare time ago. The only way that Brock Lesnar has been active in relation to wrestling is the way he's been actively looking to avoid wrestling matches, if you know what I mean. Somebody needs to tell Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman that wrestling isn't real because them blows were too heavy for my liking. But it's weird, isn't it? Braun Strowman pulls down a massive heavy metal thing on Brock Lesnar's head. Everything's fine. Brock doesn't kick up a fuss. He comes and wrestles at last night's Royal Rumble like there's naught the matter. But one little knee to the side of his face and all hell breaks loose. Brock Lesnar wants to commit murder. Maggle, 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 maggle. Maggle Cole morphed into Rafael Benitez, the manager of my beloved Newcastle United, on the touchline at St James's Park when he's given all sorts of complicated sign language to the cameras. What was going on? I do not know. Maggle, 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 maggle. That's Braun Maggle, not Brock. And this time we have Mrs. Lady Balls herself, Stephanie McMahon, revising history and talking absolute bollocks about Becky Lynch. She claimed that Lynch wasn't going to come back to WWE before a talk with your boy Finn Bálor changed her mind. The only problem is, Stephanie, that talk between Lynch and your boy Finn Bálor happened when Lynch was 19 years of age. She wasn't signed to WWE until she was 26 after a long break. You're taking the piss now, Steph. We had Triple H on Monday night. Now we've got you here now. What do you mean you can't forget the 9th wonder of the world, China? What about if your daughters log on to Google, search her name, and what they find is porn? What about that, eh? Oh, you're admitting your own bollocks now. Thanks very much. Get her in the Hall of Fame where she deserves. Belongs. She belongs it, and she deserves. Jesus Christ, those kicks from Sasha Banks to Lita just after Mandy Rose was eliminated, they did not belong in a WWE ring. They belonged on stage at the bastard Moulin Rouge. I tell you what, I think I was closer to making contact to Lita's midriff than I was sat over across the other side of the Atlantic in Newcastle upon Tyne. And if you want to see just how close somebody can come to dying without actually dying, watch Lita's moonsault. Jesus Christ. Now I know she's famed for leaving the jump really late, but this time she was literally horizontal before she did it, and I was sweating like Shane McMahon while standing still. Back with Lady Balls once again, who claimed that Becky Lynch told her that her attire represents the future. Her attire was black. Eternal damnation, a black hole that we're all going to get sucked into and die from. That means that you need to grab Jomo's prized possession, forget about the animals, and head for the bastard border. The end is nigh, the end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh, nigh. Maggle, 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 maggle. Maggle speaking about Nia Jax, a woman who has done it all, apart from winning a championship in WWE or eat her own head. Team America. It's Naomi Kingston, and would you just... wouldn't I can't. Oh. It's Naomi Kingston, and still Maggle Cole ruined this moment when he claimed he has never seen anything like this before. Away, man. For God's sake. And next up, we have the entire announced team claiming that Molly Holly was fighting stereotypes back in day, as if they weren't just laughing at her, shaving her bald, and ridiculing her because she wasn't a size 0 like the rest of the roster was back then. Bastards. Vince McMahon likes really tough women. Vince McMahon likes really tough women. Oh, Vince McMahon. Oh, Norton. No, Ronda. Trish Stratus number 30. What about the dinner with Triple H? What about the horrible lie in the TMZ interview? What about the fact that her own personal photographer was sat in the front row? Oh well. And next up, we have the sign that reads Okada is better than WWE, held by a fan who paid several $100s to get a good seat at the WWE Royal Rumble of 2018. Imagine paying hundreds of dollars and then saying a single Japanese wrestler was better than the thing you just pay hundreds of dollars to see. It makes no sense, pal. You absolute tool. And next up, we have Sloth from the Goonies. Yes! Shouting tap, tap, taparoo at Trish Stratus in a match where the only way anyone can be eliminated is by being thrown over the top rope. Asuka's going over, screams Mrs. Ladyballs. Whoa now, spoilers, come on now. What an idiot Nikki Bella is. Nobody's come close to defeating Asuka. She's in there with a 2-on-1 advantage with her sister, and what does she do? She eliminates her sister, making it a 1-on-1 match. A 1-on-1 match she's never ever going to win. Who do you think you are, mate? John Cena? Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura winning their respective Royal Rumble matches just shows that even WWE themselves think the Japanese graps is better than theirs. Ronda Rousey finally turned up at the end, and after some horrible camera work which ruined the debut in my humble opinion, she seemed to think that she was on the set of the Bee Gees video for Stayin' Alive. What the hell was all the pointing for? Now when Ronda Rousey was approaching Stephanie McMahon, I thought, bloody hell, Mrs. Ladyball's gonna get her scrotum in her hand and just twat Ronda Rousey upside the head. Thankfully, I was wrong, and this came after a match where Mrs. Ladyballs herself didn't put herself over once. She just put over everybody in the match to the best of her abilities. Yes, her commentary was paint-by-numbers stuff, and I can't say that because I was voted Commentator of the Year in name redacted in 2016 in a poll that also included Jim Ross. But she wasn't unbearable, she wasn't in the match, and for those two reasons, we should be very thankful indeed. When on earth is this video going to end? Imagine being as big a mark for a colleague as Triple H is for Ronda Rousey, and I can't say that now because Ronda Rousey has signed a full-time deal with WWE. It's pathetic. And that is it. Thank Christ you're at the end for all of your WTF moments for the 2018 Royal Rumble. I have been Ross from Cultaholic.com. Thank you for being a sexual wank pheasant. Pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/cultaholic. Anything you can give will enable us to create even more fanciful content for your entertainment pleasures. But most importantly of all, do not forget to join us. Oh God, somebody kill me.